The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN, 8:30 a.m. Tuesday morning. Hope everyone had a great Labor Day long weekend. Man, those 3 days fly by. Back at it in the market, back at it in terms of negative prices. Kind of a reliving what we saw early on Friday. Right now, you have the Dow futures off 223 points. That's about 0.8% in the red, trading 27,851. We've got the S&P futures down 48 points, trading 1.4% in the negative at 3369, and the NASDAQ, quite an acceleration. NASDAQ now off about 374 points. That's more than 3% in the red right now, 11,174. We'll start it off with the chart of the S&P. You see the highs last week, middle of the week, 3587. The escalation begins on Thursday and Friday. Friday, we claw back a lot of those losses in the S&P and the NASDAQ. Almost looked like for a time being that we were actually going to get to positive prices at one point. But guess what, folks? We're reliving where we were. The lows on Friday in the S&Ps, 33.47. You back up to where we were this morning. The slide begins at about 2 in the morning. You're trading at 34.46. We're now approximately almost 70-plus points below that price level at 33.72. Jumping over to the NASDAQ. There's where the slide begins on Thursday. You trade from 12,400 and change. You reach a price level of 11,142. You're talking about 1,300 points from where we were basically early Thursday. The lows on Friday, as we mentioned, quite a claw back, though. We saw all the tech stocks, whether it was Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, Google, 11,142. And you charge higher to a high at about 330. But you see, we sold off a little bit into the close, but you make it to a high of about 11,751. So you're talking about 600 points from the lows of Friday, intraday, to where we were near the close. You did sell off, approaching about 430. We end the week last week at about 11,600. Excuse me, and you can see the slide begins basically similar to the S&Ps, about 2 in the morning. We're trading at 11,550, and just like that, we're trading at 11,187 in the NASDAQ. The Dow off about 197 points, 27,877. We'll jump over to the VIX this morning. VIX with some elevated prices with a negative market, 35.20, up about $5 from where we closed the action on last week at about 30. And we'll jump over to some commodities. We got gold off a bit, negative about $10 at $19.25. Silver contract basically flat at $26.72. Notes and bonds, we're getting some higher price and lower yield. The 10-year up 12 ticks at 139.13. We're looking at a 30-year up a full point and 7 ticks at 176.19. The 10-year yield right now, 0.675%. Okay, overnight in Europe, markets pulling back with the DAX off about 1.4%, FTSE off about 0.6, CAC Carol off almost 2%. Asia, positive action. Nikkei was up 0.8, Shanghai up 0.7 as well. All right, let's jump around to some of the tech stocks. We'll start it off. Apple, talk about some volatility on Friday. So we were at $138 on Wednesday. You shaved $28 off that price by early Friday, but talk about a V recovery on Friday from 110 almost to 123 intraday on Apple on Friday. But we've given back a lot of that. We're back to 114.31 right now on Apple. Microsoft shares, pretty similar price action, up to 218 from 205 on Friday, and we're right back to the lows on Friday of 206.72. Amazon shares, we were as high as about 33.25 towards the close of the action on Friday. We're currently trading at 31.54, the lows of 31.11 on Friday. Google shares, Google facing their own woes. They're going to be dealing with some potential antitrust issues. Google was above 1,600 towards the end of the day Friday. We're actually below the lows of Friday on Google. Not that long ago, we were just at 1,733. We lost about $200 in the price of Google shares since Wednesday's action. And I've been saving it. We got to jump over to Tesla. A couple headlines going on with Tesla this morning. Not that long ago, last Tuesday, a week ago from today, we were trading at $538. The news comes out that Tesla's going to be raising $5 billion, putting shares to the market. That was the first kind of headwind it was facing. And this morning, let's just jump over to headlines. And we'll start it off with Tesla. They did not make the S&P 500, folks. They were beat out by Etsy, Teradyne, and Catalent. Elon Musk must not be a happy man this morning for a couple reasons. This is the first one. So investors, I made a lot of speculation here that Tesla put up their fourth consecutive quarter of profitability. That's one of the criteria that you need. There it is, fourth consecutive quarter of profitability in July in their last earnings. That's one of the criteria you need to make it in the S&P 500. A lot of speculation that a company the size of Tesla, approaching $500 billion market cap at its highs. For some context, I just clicked on that. Etsy's about a $13 billion company. Did not make the S&P 500, not this go-around. So that weighing on Tesla. And what else weighing on Tesla? A big one here. You got GM taking an 11% stake in Nikola to the tune of about $2 billion with a B. GM's getting a $2 billion stake in Nikola and the right to nominate one board member in exchange for in-kind services. GM will also become the exclusive supplier of fuel cells globally outside of Europe to Nikola for its Class 7-8 truck. Nikola makes battery electric and hydrogen-powered trucks. Nikola up huge today. On that news, Tesla backing off in a big way. I mean, you're off almost $200 from where you were on Wednesday, let alone last week. We closed at about $418. We're off about $70, approaching 20% haircut just since last Friday on Tesla shares as they face a headwind. And I believe it, NKLA, Nikola? Yeah, there's your action on Nikola. From 36 up to 54. We're now up about $9 from the close of action on Friday. Pairing some of those gains for some context on this stock, we're going to open at 45 again. So there's your action on Tesla. We're right kind of at these highs we had from early August. Market got a little bit ahead of itself in early June, along with the indices in general spiking higher. But Nikola shares gaining on quite an investment from GM and Tesla pulling back, as you may expect as well. All right, what else we got going on? Boeing. Not good news for Boeing. FAA reviews Boeing Dreamliner quality control lapses after production problems. You got a journal report out there talking about the FAA reviewing quality control lapses at Boeing that could stretch back almost a decade. Not surprising if you've been following what's going along with this company. Citing an internal government memo, sources familiar with the matter, internal memo reviewed by the journal showed Boeing notified regulators that it produced parts that did not meet its own design and manufacturing standards. Not sure how that happens. As a result, high-level FAA review could require enhanced or accelerated inspections for as many as roughly 900 of the approximately 1,000 Dreamliners serviced since 2000. Boeing, you see the action this morning. Whoops, BA. We'll zoom it in. Boeing trading about $5 lower. There's your acceleration to about 166.80. Last Thursday you were at 180. Boeing's got some they get some headwinds, folks, in a big way still. All right, S&P's negative about 49. We get the NASDAQ futures negative by 371. Dow negative by 227. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back in 3 minutes. See what else we have on tap for Tuesday trading. We'll be right back.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my gold report. The Gold Report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, JDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&Ps negative by 51. Markets continuing to accelerate a little bit to the downside. You see, making basically session lows in the S&P as we speak, 33.67. You get the NASDAQ futures negative 350 now, within about 50 points of where we were for the lows on Friday, and the Dow off about 251 points currently. All right, what else we got in terms of stocks with action this morning? Stocks making moves. We'll slide up here for some action. We talked about Tesla in terms of the companies that are in. You had Etsy, Teradyne, and Catalent added. H&R Block, Coty, and Kohl's removed from the S&P 500. Disney gets an upgrade to a buy from a hold. Been a Disney bull for a long time if you've been watching the show. Well aware. They have succeeded in the land grab phase of direct-to-consumer video offerings and is on a path to becoming a global streaming entertainment leader. I completely agree with that. My only question is, why today? Why not when they came out with their earnings and just announced that they have 100 million subscribers between Disney Plus, between Hulu, between ESPN? They are well on their way, folks. And when the world returns to normalcy, which it will at one point, you're going to see, and well, we're seeing a little bit of a drop here, but Disney was higher as the rest of the market was lower. We're pulling back a bit as we've seen the market slide a bit pre-market. But what you're going to see is Disney is going to return to a business model that they will be able to profit from parks, profit from movies. We're seeing AMC is beginning to open back up. But at the same time, they're going to have a business that's going to rival Netflix almost with a business of the parks and the movie production, and then having the likes of Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, the Marvel line, the Star Wars line that they have, not to mention whether it's National Geographic, Hulu, ESPN, strong company. They are there for the duration, and Disney been behaving pretty well, all things considered. But you see, I mean, 137 and 129. When this market sells off, folks, almost everything's selling off. And this morning, looking to open a little bit lower on Disney, even with them getting an upgrade. All right, Peloton. So they're going to cut the price of its core exercise bike by 24%. They're going to add a cheaper treadmill and a pricier version of its bicycle to its lineup. So they're going to cut the price of its core bike. I mean, I've talked about Peloton a lot. It's kind of ridiculous what their cheapest bike costs, which I believe is almost like $2,000. Okay, so now they're seeing they've probably gotten the max they can get out of a $2,000 bike. They're saying maybe we try and hit a market a little bit lower than that. And they're also saying, you know what, maybe we try and hit a market a little bit higher than that as well, as they're going to cut the price of their core bike. They're going to raise the price of a pricier version of their bike. And nonetheless, Peloton been quite a success story recently. You see the volatility. We're basically flat from where we were on Friday. The high of $92 last week. We spike all the way down to a low of about $72. And we're currently trading about 80 on Peloton on that news. So Wells Fargo, Berkshire cut their stake in the bank to 3.3%, according to an SEC filing. They hold still about 137 million shares, but that's 100 million fewer shares than it held at the end of June. Some of the banks performed pretty well last week, actually. Wells Fargo, 24.29, down a bit from last week. I got this on an hourly chart right now. But, I mean, if you look at Bank of America, right? I mean, think about it. The market got decimated last week, and Bank of America handled well up to 26.20. Warren Buffett's got a huge position in Bank of America. JP Morgan handled pretty well as well, still at about 102.23, behaving pretty well in terms of where rates are, where the market is. Beyond Meat, so they're going to open a new production facility in Shanghai with the plant-based food maker aiming to reach full capacity by early 2021. BYND, they this morning trading low with the market at 124. Starbucks adding plant-based items to menus across Asia. So you got Beyond Meat opening a plant in Shanghai. You got Starbucks starting to add plant-based items to menus across Asia, including offerings from Beyond Meat, Impossible Foods, and others. Starbucks this morning trading about 85.13, down from 86.27 last week. We talked about Boeing. So Apple, very interesting. They're going to start producing those 5G iPhones. A lot of speculation in terms of how many phones, whether this is priced in. I mean, this is one of the big cycles they look to have, their iPhones. According to a report from Japan's Nikkei news service, its 2020 production could total 73 million to 74 million units, according to the report, shy of the initial 80 million target. There was a report out, I think, the last week or two that said that they were asking their suppliers to make between about 75 and 80 million units. That's pretty much what they were thinking. But production delays have improved from a few months ago, shy, though, of the 80 million they were thinking. We pulled up Apple earlier in the show. Apple having some severe volatility. Tom and I talked about it on the program. I talked about it last week, folks. If you are a long-term investor in Apple and you get an opportunity to buy it at 110, 100, right? Not the end of the world, as in might be a good time to scale in. Maybe you scale in with a quarter of your position, right? If you're a long-term investor, you're looking to build a core position in Apple, I mean, maybe you buy, over the course of the next year, you buy a quarter of your position now, in 3 months, in 3 months, in 3 months, something like that. But, man, you just went from 138 to 110. You shaved almost 20% off the price. Now, Apple did put up a great quarter at the end of July, and you traded up to about 100 and change. That's when they announced the stock split. They put up great numbers. Everything above this 100 to 110 range might be a little frothy. That's a fair estimate because we bounced around here. You traded to a euphoria. You pulled back. But, I mean, you're approaching some of these areas, at least on the long term, that you could start a position. Starting it at 138, that's kind of tough because you might get these actions to the downside. But starting it at 110, starting it at 114, where we're going to open today, I mean, just on Friday alone, from 110 to 122, you're talking about $12. You're talking about making 10% on Apple in one day. Now, we gave back most of that. All right, this is supposed to be a long-term position, but just something to consider when you start getting pullbacks. They're pretty epic. I mean, Tesla shares, Tesla's its own animal. Not sure where the real value of Tesla is when you can trade from 538 to 558 over the course of 4 trading days, and you're talking about losing, $100 billion, almost $200 billion in market cap. got to be a little wary of those. Roku, they got an overweight at Wells Fargo. Called the Roku an advertising heavyweight in the making. Pretty interesting, Roku. We're trading lower with the market from 159 to 154. Roku's had quite a run recently, all the way up to 185 from 58. I personally got like 4 Rokus in my house. Had 6 at one point. I don't even use a cable box anymore. I use Spectrum, and I use a Roku instead of a cable box. That's the deal. You just download the Spectrum app. You don't even need a cable box. You can see how these players of any type, and I'm sure you can do that with a number, whether it's a Google Play or how it is. But I'm a fan of Roku. I don't pay for anything, though, besides the box that I paid for. That's the kicker. Now, guess what, though? I might see some of their ads. I don't know how that works exactly. But nonetheless, Wells Fargo giving them a buy rating this morning. And Foot Locker, they got a buy in new coverage from Goldman Sachs, noting enduring tailwinds during strong product cycles and improvement in digital marketing and sales. Foot Locker, we'll pull up the daily first, still struggling a bit, and we're going to open this morning lower with the market. I mean, everything's opening pretty much lower this morning, folks. S&P's minus 46, NASDAQ minus 331. You get the Dow negative 243, and we're looking at Foot Locker negative by about 20 cents at about 32.05. All right, stay tuned, folks. We're coming back. We got Peloton earnings this week. We got Slack earnings this week. We'll go over what else we have. We'll be right back in 3 minutes.
Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as...
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us, and Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and to help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that'll take you step by step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&Ps minus 49, NASDAQ minus 350. So in terms of earnings, we still got some companies coming out this week. Some of the ones on my radar. We got Lululemon. They're coming out with their numbers after the bell tonight. Lulu from 361. We're trading about 351 right now. Jumping over to the Analyze tab, checking out the fundamentals. They're pricing in about a $34 move after the bell for Lulu. We also get Work, which is Slack. Their numbers after the bell, $29. We're looking for $4.20 basically in terms of the expected move priced into the option. There's your chart of Slack. And we talked about Peloton in terms of talking about different bikes that they're coming out. Peloton, we get their numbers Thursday after the bell. We also get Oracle Thursday after the market close. Dave & Buster's. Friday, we get Kroger earnings in terms of retail. On Wednesday, American Eagle before the market open. And we get GameStop after the close, and also Restoration Hardware. Restoration Hardware, folks, you want to see one of the best stories of COVID, from 73 to 350 to maybe 316 now, but talk about a resurgence on that. We also get GameStop, GME. Look at that run from $2 up to $8.45 on GameStop. We'll see how that comes to be. And yeah, what else we got going on, folks? A week from tomorrow, our man Basil Chapman, he's going to be in there for a live 2-part webinar, Understanding the Complete Chapman Wave Methodology, explained live, the technical tools based on the Chapman Wave methodology, a detailed all-day online course. Basil will be in there from 9 a.m. till noon, from 1 till 4. He'll take a lunch break, and then he'll be in there for the half hour at the end of the day. So you get a half hour before the day, gets ready for the market. Market opens at 9:30. You're in there 9 till noon, lunch break 1 till 4, and a review and a prepare for the next day's trading session from 4 till 4:30. When you sign up, you instantly receive an emailed booklet with key Chapman Wave techniques sent to all participants. You also immediately gain a month of Basil's daily newsletter, the opening call, $128 value, all of that for $395, and that includes the $128 of the newsletter. So I encourage you folks, check it out, get in there, sign up for the opening call. You'll get acclimated for the week ahead of next Wednesday, and a great